let me start the morning properly with the Mayor of San Fernando, His Worship Junia Regrello. Good morning to you, Mr. Mayor. How are you, sir?
Good morning, sir. To the team of Ralph McDonald's. Is it the journey or the trail? I can't remember what the name of that song.
Mikey McDonald's, can't go wrong with him. Calypso Breakdown is in world. Yeah, Mr. Mayor, I know you know your music. I know you know what is public service. I know you know what you want to do in San Fernando. I know you don't know what's in the mind of your city police, because there is something going on down there where you are saying, and I'm paraphrasing here, that they are either incompetent or not willing to do the job. You are cognizant that there is a shortage of staff, but you still say something can be done if there is a will. Our listeners here this morning may not have seen what has been going on. Give us a backdrop as to what has been going on in San Fernando vis-a-vis those who are on the side of the street, those who are trying to remove congestion, which is your office, and the police ability or inability to enforce the law, please.
Oh, let me begin by saying, once there's a will, there'll be a we. And let me also reinforce the claim of that we really need to go into local government reform. Local government reform gives the municipality and gives the corporation the autonomy to do what you have to do. At this time right now, we are bogged down by bureaucracy and procedures that are absolutely outdated. And limitation. People we need rules and guidelines to operate by. I saw where the senior superintendent signed to the municipal police San Fernando is saying that they don't take instructions from civilians. But who are the civilians? The cabinet is made up of civilians. The CEO is a civilian. The councillors and all of us and the mayor who make the policy makers are civilians. There's a procedure where the policy is made, instructions are given to the CEO, and the CEO instruct the police what to do. But we are civilians. I'm trying to understand, the logic of what he's saying.
Well, and I'm particularly disturbed by this, Mr. Mayor, because the person you're referring to is the head of the city police up there. He's not even a lower rank. This is what is he? A superintendent, assistant superintendent?
Senior superintendent, but
senior superintendent.
Yeah, but these guys, let me tell you what's happening there, and this is why the whole system to be revamped.
Yes.
These guys are senior police officers who retire from the Toronto Police Service and come back on contract to work in the corporation. So they lack the knowledge and understanding of how the corporation works, and they're not familiar with the Act of 1991.
So you have retired police officers who are coming back to work in the city corporation, ignorant of what are the governing rules of the corporation.
These are guys who passed the age or retired, retired, and coming back in the system at a salary, the same position that they held in previously, without an understanding of how the corporation works. And not understanding the act. Really, the line minister, the minister of local government, and is the person, is the line minister, the person we report to, and he has control. And then the PS deals directly with the CEO. And we make our policies, and our CEO is the person who is the accounting officer. So it just tells you how uninformed the senior superintendent is. I should take time to read the act, and then you're making comments on all national newspapers about these things without all the understanding. The problem started 9 months ago when we came in there. So let me back up a bit. The corporations are very lethargic. They are already caught up with the restriction and the limitation that they have. So they found themselves in the comfort zone. Here you have now a council, and I don't want to say a dynamic mayor, but a mayor who understands the system because I was a member of parliament, I was a deputy mayor, I was a former alderman way back in 2003, so I know the system, and I'm a San Fernandian.
Yes.
So I'm saying I want to leave my city a better place. Let us commit ourselves to address the issues. We can start. So we know we have limited resources. It's a very difficult economic times. But once we have the will and look at little simple things, low-hanging fruits that can deal with, like a simple thing as the traffic plan. Yeah, rocket science to get that done. You just look around and see how can we, some simple adjustments that were made have really improved the traffic considerably. without their support, they cannot come on board and say, well, Mr. Mayor, we have limitation, but what can we do to help you?
Let me just let our listeners know, His Worship, the Mayor of San Fernando, is my guest. We are talking about a situation of tension, not getting work done simply because there is a misunderstanding, as articulated by the mayor, by the city police group, in order to carry out the dictates of the city corporation. Let me understand, there is somebody that he's answering to. Have you, Mr. Mayor, had conversation with who the senior superintendent reports to?
But yes, the thing about it is that we have not been having dialogue, and I'm sending memos to them every day. This is what he's referring to. They're not taking instructions so much. So I send a memo to the CEO, and I copy him, and I copy the inspector. And probably they're not in favor of that approach, but the CEO is the person who gives the instruction. So the CEO gives the instruction, I copy them. I asked them for a report about 3 weeks ago. So you say you have 19 or 23 officers. You have a shortfall of about 50%, as the case may be. Let me know how your shift operates, what time they report for, what are the duties and the function. I'm still waiting on that report. We decided sometime in May to implement the record service that had stopped some time ago. And we needed it. It's necessary, you may call it that. It took that department 3 months to get the record going. Citizens were complaining that people were parking their vehicles in front of their driveway. They were parking on corners. They were creating congestion all over the city. Schools about to go into the vacation and reopen. Let us put something in place as a deterrent. It took them 3 months to select the record, get the appropriate documentation like insurance has been put in place, and assign 2 officers on a shift basis to the record. It took them 3 months to do that.
There is clearly
how can we go forward that kind of approach and that kind of attitude?
But what I'm trying to extract from you, Mr. Mayor, and maybe I missed it, is the whole issue of who is in charge of the corporation. Who are they answering to? Because they said we're not answering to the civilian authority. Surely line minister and whoever is the intermediary there. Who is that person, and is he aware of what is going on?
Yes, he is, the CEO.
The CEO is. And you're not getting any response from him?
He's not getting any response from them.
Oh, he's not getting any response from them.
You see, he sits at the council and the inspector as well. Decisions are made, document goes to him, he sends it to them, and they drag it on. And use the delaying tactics to sue them, because the speed that we are moving at present, this present council is too fast for them.
All right, you did make mention that the way it is currently constituted is the problem. What would you recommend be some of the initiatives necessary to bring the city corporation? First of all, I need to ask you this. Why are they at only half their force?
Well, again, and this is why it is important for this to come up, because the service commission are the ones who do the appointment. And like, if you know what is amazing, we listen to the budget debate, and there's so many agencies that are short-staffed, and there are vacancies across the board in so many agencies, and we really have to deal with it. And I think they will be very much with the service commission and how we function and how we appoint people.
Yes,
and particularly when there's a significant level of unemployment in the country.
Junia Regrello, the mayor of San Fernando, is with us, and we're talking about their situation there. Let me start looking for the solutions as you see them. How do we revamp the currently constituted city corporation police force? One, and do we need to just stop taking people who were former police officers and putting them in charge of something, because, as you said, they are coming with a culture that is not consistent with today's demands?
And more important, they'll serve their time. Are we also blocking opportunities for more deserving persons?
I got you. I'm ready for your top 3, Mr. Mayor. Give me 3 initiatives primarily that you think will go a long way to rectifying this situation.
Well, so I think that this strategy of putting this out in the public domain may probably raise some eyebrows, but it may create an awareness that there's a serious problem here rather than leave, because this problem has been there for a while, but nobody decided to touch it. So I'm taking a different approach, put it outside there. And there are those who may say, well, why are you bringing this to the public domain? Why don't you try to deal with it inside or behind closed doors? We have tried that, and it is not working. And other mayors before me have tried that, and it is not working. So let the chips fall where they have to fall, and if I have to take blame, I'll take blame. If I am wrong, I'll say I'm wrong. If I have to say I'm sorry, I'll say I'm sorry.
Well, I'm glad that you brought it out here because, again, hitherto nobody heard of there being a problem between the mayor of a city and the city police. I mean, that's almost unheard of. One would think cooperation is paramount here, and it was in fact being
let me
executed.
go further. And if you go to other municipalities, the problem may very well be the same. And there are 14 municipalities in this country.
Yes.
14. So you are saying there are an inadequate police service in Rio Claro, in Pinal Debe, in Princess, in Cuva, Talparo, in Chagonas. All those things contribute to crime, inadequacy.
Well, on the one hand, I of course that is the leading problem, and that has to be addressed. But I'm really disturbed at the tenor of conversation going on, the hubris, as you have explained, that's coming from the city police. I mean, they are saying we don't have to listen to you, and that's what your plans are. We're not doing it.
Yeah, there was a situation where, as I said before, the judiciary had to do some repairs to the magistrate court, which is on the center of Harris Promenade, bordering Harris Promenade and streets where there are major institutions. There are 3 schools there, churches, police station, city hall, hospital, and it's a major thoroughfare for traffic. And they came over during a weekend, blocked off those major streets to do repairs to the school, to remove asbestos, without informing the public health department or the city corporation, who has control over the area. Blocked off the place and started and block off the major thoroughfare. I asked the inspector, ma'am, did you see it fit to consult the CEO or the engineer or myself about this so we can make adjustment for traffic on Monday morning? And the inspector said that is not her job. You know what I mean? That's not her job. And the police station is a minute away from where that happened. 1 minute.
It remains important that we air this as we are doing this morning. So let me continue. Let me continue waiting for your remedial measures. Go ahead, sir.
So I think by having it out there, I've been in touch with the minister. I made a clarion call. The minister is a former mayor, so he knows my challenges. So it says out there, a clarion call sent to him, and a meeting is being set up. I think it's this week. Mr. Headley, who has contacted me on Monday, contacted me Friday through my secretary that you would like to meet with us on Monday. And I think the minister is talking to the PS and he's talking to the CEO. So a meeting will be set up this week. And I have documentation to substantiate these claims that I am making here in the public.
You are also going to recommend, of course, that something seriously be done about the composition of this force.
Yes.
All right. I cannot have you leave this morning. I didn't get a top 3 from you, but I guess from the conversation you are going to have with them, it will include a number of these areas, and I'll wait until that is finished to go back to it. I do want to get into the area of something you raised about 3 weeks ago when we had, maybe longer, right after Brett passed through, and one of the observations you made, accurately so, is that folks who are illegally building, and a lot of contractors building structures, you said you're going to instruct the engineers to go out and remove and or do something about those who are there illegally. What has been done? Because a lot of the floods we're having is a consequence of diversion of the water channels, etc. Go ahead.
Yeah, and we come right back, and the same problem exists there where they do not have the teeth or the energy. They do not have to get these things done. So at the last statutory meeting, I made that call as well. I asked the engineering department, let us revisit these structures. People are building on the road reserve. There is this river, the Superior River, which it comes from all the way up in Maruga system, comes through. It's behind Skinner Park there. That will flood once we have serious or heavy rain. We tried after, but we tried to say, let's clear this river to make sure that we don't have a problem later on in the year when the heavy rain season starts. To get to that river, people extended the building, the structure, all the way onto the riverbank. So that 20 feet, that extra you have there, which will allow your backhoe and your heavy duty vehicles to go in there and clean the silt in the river, is not available to us. You have trees 10 and 12 feet going out of the river because there's no access to the river. So we have to look into these things, but then again, they move so slow, just similar to the police. Nobody in the system has ever made any attempt to get some energy in these corporations. So they are set in their ways. They come to work at a particular time. They leave at a particular time. You look up sometimes, I'm the mayor, I work at a stipend, and you see people take up the handbag and walking out of the office in the middle of the day. You say, what is going on here? We cannot continue like this. And I'm saying sometimes when you go in and get stuff, we have to get going. This is an ideal time for us to address some of the situations we have in this country.
Am I reading you correctly that on the one hand we talked about the police, the city police, not a Trinidad and Tobago police service, but the city police. On the one hand, understood. Well, on the one hand we have it. On the other hand, you're telling me the engineers, city engineers have the same work ethic?
Well, it's not the engineers per se. Because
tell me who.
It is the system. The system.
Yeah, but the system doesn't walk out with their handbags. Who's walking out with their handbag?
Well, the staff, members of staff.
In the engineering area.
In the corporation, and in various corporations across the board. Yeah. Because there is that kind of oversight that's required. That system, because what they will tell you, for instance, the engineering department also the short staff.
I was not being mischievous. Well, I guess maybe just a tad, but I did that for one purpose. It is across the board. It is a real problem that nobody wants to face, and it is not just with the city corporation.
Absolutely.
It is not done with the police. It's across the board, and we have to start dealing with that.
We're talking about work ethics here. That's what we're talking about. Right? Let me give you another system that is crazy. Our public health department, the officers who manage our public health department, none of them live in San Fernando. And let me tell you where they live. Sandy Grande, Point Fortin, Shoguanas. So one lives as far as Aruca, Saon. So if you have 9 public health officers to service a city on a 24-hour basis, look at where they live. In the case of when we have flood, how can they get to work? When the bank break or the creek flood.
They're
so the persons who are appointing these people need to revisit the system.
All parts of what I think will take place in that meeting that you're having with them. I will keep my ears open, and if you allow me to keep hitting on your telephone, Mr. Mayor.
I have no problem, because I think, I am saying, I am here for one term. Do I have to get out there? Because this is a crazy system, and it has to be dealt with, and it has to be brought in the public domain. How can we service a city like that? If there's an emergency and we have to do a check to deal with handling of food stuff, none of the officers available to me live in the city. Do they understand the culture of the city? There are several factors that would make you more efficient.
Mr. Mayor, I am thankful and appreciative that you took the time to get here. Thankful in that sense, appreciative that you laid it out, that folks understand there is more than just the man who is elected or sit in the chair, and that the problem is a problem across the board that we all have to keep facing. I thank you so much, Your Worship, for taking the time to be with us this morning.
You're most welcome, sir.